Hi students, welcome back. As you are aware, I am Dr. Maruti Chittapragada, a chemistry faculty. I'll be dealing again with chemistry of carbon compounds. Today in this session, let us, talk about a compound sought by many, a compound that runs the government. It's nothing but ethyl alcohol, whose molecular formula is C2H5OH. Now, OH is the functional group because of which it falls under alcohol family. When you look at the structural formula, you have two carbons with oxygen and hydrogen, and remaining hydrogens are directly attached to carbon atom. Now, due to the OH bond that we have here, this compound is polar and is soluble in water. Why are we talking about solubility in water? The reason being, you have another compound where you have the same molecular formula. In both the cases, you have two carbons, six hydrogens, and then oxygen. And this compound is nothing but dimethyl ether. So now, the OH group here is responsible for its solubility in water. The other compound which has same molecular formula where you don't have such OH group, this compound is found to be insoluble in water. So thus, ethyl alcohol and dimethyl ether, they have same molecular formula, but they differ in their functional group, and hence these two are together referred to as functional isomers. Now, let us look at the method of preparation of this ethyl alcohol. What are different ways in which this ethyl alcohol can be prepared, and let us also talk about few of its chemical properties. Okay, now, so let's look at preparations of this ethyl alcohol. Commercially, ethyl alcohol is prepared by fermentation process. Maybe you take sucrose, you treat it with invertase enzyme. It forms glucose, which with another enzyme called zymase gets converted to ethyl alcohol. The first one is invertase, which converts sucrose to glucose, and glucose can be converted to ethyl alcohol by another enzyme known as zymase. So we call this as a biochemical reaction. Any enzyme bringing out, a chemical reaction initiated by enzymes released by living organisms is said to be a biochemical process. In the similar lines, the same thing can also be prepared from starch. Starch, when you treat with an enzyme known as diastase, converts it to maltose. This again with an enzyme known as maltase gives us glucose, and this glucose with an enzyme zymase again forms ethyl alcohol. In the sense, the first one, that is generation of ethyl alcohol from sucrose, is carried out in two stages, whereas generation of same ethyl alcohol from starch takes place in three stages. Now, what are the enzymes here again? Diastase, maltase, and zymase. How to remember them in a sequence? Very easily. I know you all know what is OMG. When I say OMG, you will say, oh my gosh. Even God, we made him gosh. If you say OMG, I will say DMZ. What is DMZ? D for diastase, M for maltase, and Z for zymase. So this is how you can easily remember the names of enzymes used in this process. So this is a biochemical process. Now, next let us look at a laboratory method by which the same ethyl alcohol can be prepared. Okay, now let's look at another method of preparation of this ethyl alcohol. When you take up ethylene, which is nothing but an alkene where you have a double bond. So ethylene, its IUPAC name is nothing but ethene. When you treat with water, what happens? Water is polar, ethylene is non-polar. They just remain as two different layers. So therefore, you need a catalyst like sulfuric acid. In presence of sulfuric acid, water gets added to ethylene, resulting in the formation of ethyl alcohol. What type of reaction we call this as? The first one is unsaturated, whereas the final product is saturated. Such reactions are known as addition reactions. So how do you explain the term addition reaction? Any reaction in which an unsaturated compound becomes saturated is said to be an addition reaction. In an addition reaction, you will have a pi bond in the starting material, whereas all sigma bonds will be there in the product. So this is how you can industrially prepare ethyl alcohol from ethylene. Now, let us even try to understand the properties of this compound. The same ethyl alcohol, when I take it as CH3H, CH2OH, nothing but ethyl alcohol, when you heat it with sulfuric acid at about 170 degrees centigrade. Now what happens? Sulfuric acid acts like a dehydrating agent that absorbs water. So it takes up water and you are left again with ethylene. Now, can I call this as a reversible process? No. Reversible process is something that takes place on its own. Whereas here, it's you, by changing the condition, you could prepare ethyl alcohol from ethylene and again ethylene from ethyl alcohol. The conditions are very much different. This takes place at room temperature. Sometimes you may use a temperature of about 40 to 50 degrees. So what type of this reaction known as? This is known as an elimination reaction. The earlier one is an addition reaction, whereas this is an elimination reaction. So this is the first property of ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol, when you treat with sulfuric acid about 170 degrees centigrade, loses water and forms ethylene. And this process is known as dehydration of ethyl alcohol. Now, let's look at another property of ethyl alcohol. When you take up ethyl alcohol, when you add acetic acid to it, in presence of catalytic amount of sulfuric acid, upon heating, what happens? OH from this acetic acid, hydrogen from this alcohol, they are lost in the form of water. And what is the result? The result is CH3C double bond O, CH2CH3, ethyl acetate. Such compounds where you have COO together, if you remember, we call them as esters. So an alcohol and a carboxylic acid, they result in the formation of an ester, and this is known as esterification reaction. What do we call this reaction as? Esterification reaction. How do I know whether ester is formed or not? Most of these esters, they do have a sweet smell. So when I take ethyl alcohol, the moment I add acetic acid to it and few drops of sulfuric acid, maybe if you heat it gently, within no time, you will find a sweet smell. That sweet smell indicates the presence of ethyl acetate. Not only this one, my friends, most of the esters that we use quite often in our daily life, they have that sweet smell. The nail polish that we use is an ester. Even the banana flavor that you have is nothing but an isoamyl acetate. There is a reason when you want to make a banana shake, when you take a banana shake outside, don't think they add complete bananas. They may add an ingredient like isoamyl acetate, which smells exactly like banana, right? So most of the esters, they have sweet smell, and this process is called esterification, right? Friends, remember, if you understand, it's not chemistry, it's just chemistry. Friends, reach out to our comment box for any queries that you have. See you all in the next lecture. Goodbye.